Hello YouTube, it is your boy B3 back with another kicking action figure review. I know I took a break from our sort of Power Ranger review marathon to do a Dragon Ball Super. Whatever, you know, I just wanted to open that figure, so I figured let's go ahead and review it. But today we are doing Evox from the Hasbro Power Rangers Beast Morphers line. One thing I love about Hasbro's handling of Power Rangers is that they are not holding back with the villains. They are 100% committed to giving us villains. In this wave we got not one, but two villains. One of which is just a Monster of the Week villain. And then three others before this in the Beast Morphers line alone. That's not even counting the Lightning Collection. So that's pretty rad. But today we have Evox, the sort of big bad of the season, I believe. He was the big bad in Go Busters. Go Busters! I only watched Go Busters. I haven't watched Beast Morphers. But I liked Go Busters a lot, so I'm getting the toys for it. Anyways, Evox is pretty cool. Comes with a Morphex key, just like all the others. Ooh, spin them around. There's a picture of the figure in all its glory. Shows how you can use the Morphex key as either an action figure accessory, or use it in the Morpher for roleplay. I don't have the Morpher, so I can't show you the sounds. I apologize. I've already reviewed Red Fury Ranger, and then I did a dual review of Gold and Silver, so after this guy we'll have to review Drilltron. I always want to call him Drillroid, because I think that's what he was called in the Sentai. But yeah, let's bust this big baddie out of package. And here's Evox out of package. This is actually a pretty dope figure. It's a little better than I thought it would be completely honest, and I already thought it would be good. I didn't expect him to be, I don't really know what words to say. Sturdy, I guess. I thought he'd fall over a lot for some reason, but he does not. I don't know why I thought that. Probably because I couldn't see his legs in the packaging, and I thought they'd be a bit thinner. But, he's quite nice. You know, I'm not sure if this yellowy green is the correct color for the show. I felt like he was a little greener. But maybe they changed him a little for Power Rangers? Because they changed Roxy's color for Power Rangers, I think. Because, like, I remember her being black or purple or something in Go Busters. Give me a break. Go Busters came out years ago, okay? It was like 2012. Or maybe it was 2011. Maybe it was 2013. Crap. When did Go Busters come out? Go Busters came out in 2012. Right. It was 2012. Okay, so Evox is actually quite cool. He does come with a Morphex key, which is very neat design. I actually quite like it. Little Cobra looking key. It can close up. And if your kid doesn't have the Morpher, that's fine, because it can clip onto his arm. However, it does not clip on very well at all, because his arm is just such a weird shape. Like, it sits on this nub like this, but it could get knocked off really easily during playtime, while the others will stay on rather well. The Evox one, it just it can get knocked off pretty easily, just because its arm isn't really. It's like lots of the other characters just have round arms, and now that I'm trying to show you how easy it falls off, it doesn't want to. But yeah, it doesn't stick to his arm as well as all the others do. All the others do it very well. Every single other figure does it very well. I've tried it out with all of them. Throw that in my Morph. I have a whole pile of Morphex keys over there. But it just didn't work. It just didn't work with this guy. But yeah, let's do articulation. Villains have the same articulation as the heroes, except the legs don't go in and out. And I think that's just because there's so much extra sculpting that goes into the villains, and most of it's not going to be reused for anybody, so they have to cut back a little on articulation just to give us all the detail and paint that we need. But the head goes side to side. I actually wasn't sure if the head would move at all, to be completely honest, just because of the way it looks, you know? A little up and down, not much. It's kind of hindered in the back by his cable hair. But it does do it just a tiny bit. Arms go up and down, but they're hindered by the shoulders. Forward and back, elbow bend, elbow rotation. Once again, no in and out on the legs. forward and back, knee rotation, knee bend. So he's a little hindered. He would be hindered for the in and outs, but he doesn't have the in and out, so it's fine. The forward and back is about the same as the Rangers, because the Rangers are hindered by their butts, and he's hindered by his mud flap here. So he's no more hindered than the Rangers on the legs, for the front and back anyways. But once again, he's a bit hindered articulation-wise. But for a $10 figure, he's still pretty cool, because he's a bit bigger than the others. Not really height-wise, but like width-wise, he's bigger, which is very cool. I mean, he's fully painted on the back, as you can clearly see, so that's always nice. You know, I said this in the last couple reviews, even the Japanese figures don't paint on the back anymore. Like, if you get a Sentai Hero Series figure, we reviewed a couple recently, they're not really painting the backs. So, that's that. And then you have his staff as an accessory. I really like the staff. I wish it wasn't such a bland color. It's just cast in... I knew that would happen. It's just kind of cast in gray. I wish they maybe would have added a little paint to it or something. Or a bit of a different color somewhere, just to kind of make it pop a bit instead of looking so bland. However, it fits in his hand like this. Sorry. Yeah, when you get your arms all the way outstretched on the review table, it can be a bit difficult to get stuff in the hands. But it goes in his hand all right. See, he's got a nice firm grip on it. I mean, it can waddle about, but I think he does it pretty well with it. I'm not totally sure if I'm going to display him with it, just because it's not very long. I don't know, he looks good with it. But I feel like it'll take up a lot of shelf room. Because if I pose him like this, then it's going to poke the Rangers in the back, and that's going to take up some room. I could stick it between their legs or whatever, but still, it's awkward, and then if I try to remove him, it's going to knock him over. But I don't want to display him like this, with it in front, because that's how I display some other characters of that, and it just looks weird hovering off the ground like that. So I'm not totally sure how I want to display him, but I feel he feels so much more imposing with the staff, you know? Like, you see him with the staff, and you're like, okay, I get it. That's the leader. You see him with the staff, and you're like, that's the leader villain. But whatever. So now I'm going to set him back there, and we're going to do size comparisons. Here's with a couple other figures from the Beast Morphers line. On the left, we have Cyber Villain Blaze, and on the right, we have the Blue Ranger. And the Blue Ranger is just kind of the standard Mel mold, since that's the mold we have for most of the figures in this line. Is that kind of male mold, so I definitely had to show the Blue Ranger, because you got him, Red, Gold, Silver, and Red Fury all have that as their base, so that's pretty good. And the proportions are really the same as Blaze. I don't know. They look good though. So you got one of his underlings, right? This was an underling in the Beast Morphers show, or in Takumi Sentai Go Busters, and then of course just Blue Ranger to fight. Here he is with a couple of the Lightning Collection figures, both from Wave 1. Here on the left we have Lord Zed, another staff-wielding villain. Zed's staff doesn't really touch the ground either. It can if you hold it like real up high, but then it just is bad. But he gets closer, he gets much closer. And then the Dino Charge Red Ranger on the right, since that crossover is happening soon. And lastly, here he is with a couple more Ranger-related lines. Here on the left, the not Lightning Collection, but the former one, Legacy Armored Red Ranger, GameStop exclusive, which is too tall. And then another figure that does seem to be too tall, the Sentai Hero Series Zuyo Whale. Yeah. So if you have one of the old Go Busters vinyls, it'll probably be too big to go with him. But, you know, these vinyls only have 3 points of articulation, so why not just go ahead and get the Beast Morphers ones, huh? So what are my final thoughts on the Hasbro Power Rangers Beast Morphers Evox figure from Wave 3? Daddy-like. Daddy-like. Once again, this is a $10 figure for kids. I hate when adult collectors judge figures for children by adult collectible figure standards. You can't do it. You absolutely can't do it. And for kids, this is a good figure. When I was a kid, I would have loved to have this action figure. Not only did I love Power Rangers, but I always wanted them to make more villains. And they even made villains back in that day. They did. And I had several, but I always wanted more villains, because the Power Rangers gotta keep fighting the villains, you know? You know how kids are with their toys. You were one too, right? But, I mean, he's very cool. For $10, this is a great gift for your kid. It's a great addition to your collection. You know, this guy was a lot creepier in Go Busters than he probably is in Beast Morphers. I've seen the big Cobra thing, and it's kind of ridiculous looking, to be completely honest, where he was like this scary, deformed digital skull in like the Sentai. It was crazy. I mean, either way, you know, it's all fun and games. I mean, one of those will give you nightmares, but it ain't my place to talk about that. But yeah, that's it. Thank you all very much for your support. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. Check out all the cool links in the description below. Facebook, Twitter, etc. And there's also a little something else in the description below for you. Our sponsor. Yeah, comicsplusofmacon.com. We got a coupon code down there for you that will give you 10% off your order, and they do have Power Rangers. Definitely check out that website. So that's it. Thank you all once again for your support, and I'll see you all next time.